Podcast starts at 19 seconds.
Welcome to Fit the Description, where various black men come together to talk about life, society, entertainment, culture, news, and whatever else we want to talk about from various black men's perspectives. I'm your host, G, and today we got James.
Yep.
And we got Keith.
Yep.
On your way in, make sure to hit that subscribe button or follow, depending on your platform. Make sure to hit that like button. If you're checking out this podcast on the video platforms, all the links will be down below for all the audio platforms, so make sure to check those out. Also, make sure to check out the Clips channel, Fit the Description Podcast, over there on YouTube. Once again, we have an Instagram. It's opinion_piece_network. I know I say it on every episode. I got to work on it, but it is up. And now with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. I wanted to answer that question fully because we never got to finish that conversation about why do I care about the suffering of people if it doesn't affect your day to day.
Okay, this is unprecedented, but maybe off topic, but I got somebody who has a question.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Elle. I have a question.
Mhm.
What things do you care about that you feel will be affecting you potentially in the future in other countries? Can you tell me 3 things that you off top feel like are something you should be concerned with globally that could affect you domestically?
Global censorship will be one. A war, because it could expand and get bigger. And the third one, I gotta think about the third one. I don't have a third one off the top of my head, but those are the two I have
So
ready to go.
let's take the first one. Censorship
Mhm.
in the media, I'm assuming. So what
Media,
type of
entertainment, yeah, all of that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So what type of entertainment and media support groups, lobbying, what do you do here domestically to ensure that you will not be affected by these things that happen in other countries? How are you involved?
Well, I mean, the only thing I do, which is what I can do, is I just talk about it. I'm not a government official, but I do definitely talk about it, and I at least try. Like, that's part of the reason why I do this podcast. So if anybody listens to it, at least they know. So people can't say, "Hey, I just didn't do nothing." I at least try to inform, and that's just my way of doing something about it.
Okay, so what things are happening globally or internationally that you are informing your listeners of currently today?
Well, I mean, we talked about censorship. We talked about AI. Um, what else have we talked about? Yeah, censorship, AI. Uh, I guess we talked about investments. I guess we had crypto conversation, which that's a global thing that we talked about. Yeah, just all kinds of things. Like I said, I can't think about something off the top of my head, but that's just a couple of things that come to mind.
Okay, so what key takeaways do you want for your audience to know about global censorship in entertainment and media?
The big takeaway I want them to have is just to be aware, to keep themselves informed. Basically, yeah, just I inspire people because maybe I'm not the one who may be fight, but at least maybe inspire the next person to fight properly and to do the things that I'm unable or unwilling to do.
Okay, what steps should I take to do that?
Uh, I think it depends. It depends. Like I said, it depends on the kind of conversation. Like I said, if you're like I said, I would say the inspire thing is like, bringing somebody who's willing to have the conversation or have the debates. I would like to, that'd be a good thing just to have somebody who could go out and not necessarily spread my message, but maybe have the conversation and spread the message correctly.
Okay, so what is your message? Just to be informed, to find information. What's valid information sources for me to find out more about censorship globally?
Uh, I mean, well, that's the thing about this podcast. I mean, I'll be honest with you. Like I said, it is a cop out. Do your research. That's the big thing. I'm just here to tell you about it and have the discussion. not like I said, we're not a media. We're not the news. We just have a discussion and state our own opinions. The big thing I want everybody to do is just go out and do your own research. Go look on Google. Go look at different news articles. Go look because we could be wrong. That's one thing I've said multiple times on this podcast. I didn't bring us all together to be the most knowledgeable. I brought us here to be just regular old people that have our own opinions, to have discussion, bring it all together, and to have conversations. And it's on you. And that's a big thing I really want people to understand is go out there and do your research.
Well, hopefully the listeners are savvy enough to know where to find credible information to do this AI or entertainment or, whatever's happening overseas that scares you or terrifies you that you feel like you're going to lose your First Amendment rights here. Hopefully the listeners have enough wherewithal and aren't sheeple who just get scared and, everything is bad technology-wise. Everything is bad governmental involvement-wise with media and technology. I hope that your listeners are able to do that. Now, when is the last time we've had a domestic war?
Oh no, oh yeah, I wasn't even around. What's like the Civil War? I think was the last one.
Okay, so do you feel like that all the money that the government is dumping into military currently, that we will be in your lifetime victims of domestic war? Instead of what we've been seeing in the last 20, 30, 40 years, I'm not sure how old you are, with just, going to fight in other countries.
Do I think we'll ever go into a domestic war?
Correct. Because why else would you be afraid of war?
Well, I mean, because of the draft, I could be drafted legally.
Do you think that you would pass the test to be considered military fit?
Well, I mean, it doesn't matter. If it gets bad enough, they'll take you no matter what.
When's the last time that's happened?
I just asked all of this the last podcast, and these are the same answers. And she's proving my point in everything I was saying before. It's like you're just going based off of hypotheticals with no like she's right. Like I wouldn't be fit for a draft. You wouldn't be fit for a draft mentally, physically, emotionally, none of that. Like, yes,
why would that matter? Why would I mean? It doesn't matter. Like, I mean, look at what's happening in Ukraine. Most old people ain't fit.
How many people are in America? What is it, like 8 billion or 8 whatever? So you mean to tell me they would choose more people, you over probably 6 million, 7 million fit more people than you?
Remember what my statement was. My statement was if it got bad enough. That's specifically what I said. That's exactly what I said.
And I'm saying to you that you mean to tell me, and with our resources and America's gung-ho-ness, 6 million people or 6 million males, whatever the number is between males, you would be it would take more than 6 million with all of our war history and our knowledge and our just everything. You think that you would be, and the only son to your mother, because that still takes accountability. Like, you would not be picked because technically you're the only son. So that's another thing.
Well, no, technically, again, I said it again. If it gets bad enough, that's specifically what I keep saying. Now, I'll admit this. That's why. I'll admit this. I'm not.
How bad does it have to get? Answer that question.
What?
How bad do you think something has to get? So you mean to tell me that, let's say hypothetically, since we're going hypothetical, 6 million other males are going to die, and then hypothetically you are going to get picked to go fight a war after 6 million other men couldn't do it?
Well, I don't think it would take that many. I don't think it would take 6 million because I mean I guess I would. I don't think it would be 6 million, but yes, I think if things got bad enough, if we were like in a world war, like a full world war, yeah, I could definitely see that happen if things got bad enough.
That's a fucking hell of a hypothetical. Okay. Hell of a hypothetical.
people, if 6 million people died, G would go fucking AWOL before it.
So I like to point out, I do know several people in the military, and I actually know a few Nigerians who have become naturalized citizens in America, and they have been excited that the U.S. government has increased the age you can enlist from 35 to 42, because these people care about what America can do for them. So they're coming from other countries. They're happy the age has been increased because they're on the midlife side of, not having, and they are enlisting in the military happily. So I don't think you have to worry about them coming for you. I don't know what your fitness level is, or your capacity, or your buy-in to American society culture and upholding the governmental laws and making a way or a plan for those things to benefit you after you have served. So I think that we have more naturalized citizens. We have more citizens who see war happening and become excited to join and fight than relying on the draft.
Well, yeah, but again, I still go back to things have to get bad enough.
Okay,
I
but
think
how
if things
bad?
got bad enough that we were losing to the point where podcasters and gamers are going to be asked to enlist in the draft.
Well, no, I don't think.
Just give it up.
Well, no, I don't think we have to be losing that bad. I just think we have to lose enough people.
Right.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean we're necessarily
telling you that there are people who are not born here that are willing to fight because they know how to plan out what the benefit package is in the long run.
Oh, I agree with that.
And they want that.
Oh, I agree with that. Like, I know people want to go I know people who enlist happily. So yeah, no, of course there's always going to be people. So yeah, I don't think that's even. I don't think I'm even arguing that.
You are a skilled weapon person. Do you know how to utilize a weapon?
Well, again, like I said, if we're talking about the draft again, I still say my point. Things have to get bad enough.
No,
right, but I'm asking. So we're not talking about the draft. Just in general in life, are you a marksman? Do you recreationally shoot? Are you familiar with a handgun, a rifle, anything like that? Shotgun?
A handgun, but I haven't shot in basically years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you know how to take apart, clean, and put back together a handgun?
No.
Okay. So when you are drafted, what will your skill be? Telecommunication?
I don't even know if that would matter. I think they would
just put me. It does, because if you want to win a war, you're not just going to start dragging homeless people off the street and handing them guns.
Yeah, again,
there is a method.
Well, I get that, but again, like I said, where they do it over in Ukraine, where they're just grabbing people off the street and giving them a gun and telling them go out and fight a war.
So you're thinking that the long history of the military in America and what the complex of military industry has become in America is equivalent to Ukraine. Currently, America is gifting Ukraine old weapons so we can see how well they work.
Oh, no, I agree. But again, I still stand by the statement when I said things have to get bad enough, because that's the point. Like, if things get bad enough, yeah.
Okay, but it's never going to get that bad as Ukraine. I'm sorry.
And then yeah. So then at that point, then I mean, I don't really have much, because my whole entire premise is things have to get bad enough. So do I see myself being drafted? Do I see myself being drafted? Things. Well, you said we're going to stay in the hypothetical.
Okay, so hypothetically, I think that you would have a better chance of going into war with your actual neighbor than you would have being enlisted in the draft.
Oh, that's a given. That's 100% true.
I like I said, I don't agree with that, because from what I've seen, even overseas, if things hypothetically, if things got bad enough, they'll just take who they could get and then throw them out on the front line and say you need to fight this war.
Where in America have you seen that? Where in America have you seen that?
Huh?
Where in America have you seen
that? Again, we said hypothetically.
Okay, how many stamps do you have in your passport?
What?
How many stamps do you have in your passport?
I don't have any. I don't have a passport.
Okay, so you've never been out of the country.
No.
And you've never been to Ukraine.
No, of course not. No.
Do you know any Ukrainians?
No.
Have you interacted? Have you? I'm going to say, have you interacted with any Ukrainians in real life, not online?
Yes. Yes. Years ago, but yes.
Okay. So, what did they tell you about life in the Ukraine?
We never had that conversation.
Well, okay. So you are not, even though you're concerned about things happening globally and internationally that may, in the future, hypothetically affect your standard of living in America, you have never taken the time to have in-depth conversations about Ukraine, life in Ukraine, and what would lead to something like this happening where regular citizens are taking up in arms. Is that correct?
I don't think I fully agree with that premise because I definitely had a conversation about this. But again, the whole entire
with
premise.
Ukrainians.
Huh?
With Ukrainians.
Oh no, not with Ukrainians. No.
Absolutely not. Okay, so you have no basic knowledge of Ukrainian life and what would make a normal citizen take up in arms, correct? In Ukraine.
No, I can only go by the reports that are in the news.
Okay, have you ever talked to your neighbors about what would make them take up in arms in their own neighborhood?
No.
Okay, so what I urge you to do before you fearmonger your listeners is start talking to your community. Are you a part of a community neighborhood watch?
Well, hold on, whoa, hold on. Let me stop you there because again, why would that matter if they enact the draft? Why would it matter of we got to pull? No, if it's bad enough, we need people we can put on the front line. If it's that bad, there wouldn't be no conversation. We need people to go to the war. So why would that even matter of what you want to do when we need people on the front line because we lost too many people?
Telling you that you are not civic minded and that you need to get in touch with your community, the local people in your actual city. I don't know where you live, but you need to go to that city council, town hall. You need to go to some local meetings before you start talking about the draft. That is irresponsible for you.
How?
And it
How's that irresponsible? How's that irresponsible?
Because you don't know anything about how the military operates. We will bomb the shit out of someone before we just start putting people who sit in garages.
When did I ever make that argument? When did I ever make that argument?
You said if it gets bad enough.
Yes, but of course,
in my mind, if it gets bad enough, we are taking homeless people and strapping Kevlar on them and handing them a gun. We're putting them in the front line and saying, shoot. That's bullshit. We don't do that. We don't fight. This is not Vietnam. We don't fight like that. And we have drones, son. We will
I'm not arguing that.
And steal people's babies.
Again, I'm not arguing that.
Person in Kevlar. No, you said if it gets bad enough.
Yes, so I said if it gets bad enough.
I appreciate your candor with the thoughts that you have in your brain, but I'm here to put you in a centralized position for reasonable thinking, sir. Please get involved with your civic community.
That has nothing to do with it, though.
Your neighborhood in town. Absolutely.
But that has nothing to do with it, though.
Absolutely.
That's nothing to do with it.
Guess what? I'm going to tell you why. If it gets bad enough and you're that afraid, when it comes time to protest, you won't have anybody to believe you because you haven't done the grassroots footwork to know the people around you to say, yes, we believe him and we are not going to stand for this.
What does that have to do with the conversation?
Did you not hear what I was saying? You're listening to respond. I told you exactly what it had to do with the conversation. If you get in touch with your community and somebody comes for you and tries to put you in the draft, the community will stand up for you by the hundreds, by the thousands, by the tens of thousands.
Okay,
so what you're talking about is fear mongering.
No, what we talking about is hypothetical.
I just gave you realistically how one deals with a fake hypothetical. You get in touch with your community. It's like, okay, never mind. I get it. I think you just don't want to know real people.
What does that have to do with knowing real people?
I just told you why. If there's a hypothetical draft coming for me, I'm going to know all my neighbors. I'm going to know everybody at the grocery store. So when they come for me, I'm going to say, no, I don't want to go. And my community is going to stand up and say, no, she may not go. You're just going to have to go.
Well, no, I don't think you would have a choice. I think they would drag you kicking or screaming, or they'll put you in prison. That's what will happen.
Absolutely not. Are you familiar with history?
Yes, and in history, that's what happened. They took people kicking and screaming to go to the draft, or they put them in prison.
Do you realize they talked about bringing the draft back and it didn't happen? I
Yes,
urge you not to.
yes, I do know
okay,
about that.
Why did that happen?
But
No.
she's
Why
right,
did
though.
it happen?
And she's right though. You're like a perfect example is Muhammad Ali. It's like everybody who was on that panel as Kareem, Elgin Baylor, like, yeah, he literally had to do time because he didn't want to go.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as kicking and screaming. If you fight for something and people back you, just like she said, and you're
But did I not just say that? I said you had to go do time. I literally said that too. I said
okay,
they're going to take a kick and scream, or they're going to put you in
still,
prison and have you do time.
Okay, but whether it be a hypothetical or not, I know too many people that if we band together and we like, bitch, they're not taking us. Fuck you. Like, that's not happening. Like, they gonna have to kill me. Dude, that's what it is. Like, they can't just take you. It's like, oh well, if it gets bad enough. Like I said, how bad does it have to get? And you're like, oh, in Ukraine. No, I'm talking about in America.
No, obviously, yes, because Ukraine is the only current example that we really have to look at right now.
Bullshit.
That's not an example.
Fucking globe. What are you talking about?
Wait a minute. Where else in the globe are they doing a draft that we could look at?
Where else are they doing it? Yeah,
a draft, not just taking a bar and having to fight. I'm talking about like an actual. We're talking about specifically a draft.
Where else in the free world are they doing a draft? Period.
So they're doing it in America to draft people to go or to force. Okay, so let me ask this: are they forcing people to go to the draft in America for the Ukraine, or are they just doing it in the Ukraine?
Oh no, they're just doing it in the Ukraine.
Okay, that has nothing to do with America.
Yeah, what I'm saying is that's the only example that we have to look from though.
Like I said, that's not a draft. That's not a draft. Like I said, where else in the free world are they doing a draft?
Stop saying that I'm afraid because they're doing it in a whole nother country. That's wild. That sounds insane. I'm afraid because they can do it over here. Because if it gets as bad as the Ukraine, poverty, famine, fucking all of the shit that goes along with the Ukraine, like add a date out of there, all kind of shit. You act like they're just up with modern technology. Like that's crazy to me.
I'm gonna help you. Russia requires a draft. Israel, who's currently in war right now, remember Israel, they're in war. They require their citizens to go into military service. So when you say, I don't know, I only know Ukraine. Well, that Ukraine war was like 2020, so you're far behind. There's current events going on with Israel where they're requiring a draft.
But from my understanding, it's in Israel you have to serve. It's not a draft. It's at a certain you have to serve.
Yes, that's what
but that's not a draft. That's a what you call it? What's that? Mandatory service?
Yes, it's mandatory service.
Yes, but we're specifically talking about a draft.
What the fuck do you think a draft is? You just said if you don't serve, you go to jail.
That's mandatory service.
Yes, I know, but a draft has to be an active mandatory service, something that you have to do once you hit a certain age. Like Korea, they do that. Korea, they have it, so you have to go. Yes, but I wouldn't call that a draft like what we have. Or like,
we're not going to do that again. We're not going to do that again. We have too much technology to do that again.
You're bringing up a bunch of dictatorships in third world countries and talking about, that's the same as America.
I didn't.
If a real American heard you say that, they'd cuss you out.
If someone in the military heard you, if anybody in the military tunes into this, my apologies if I misrepresented anything that the good old US of A stands for, but I just don't like fear mongering. If you have a platform to actually get people to think, get them to think by thinking you're a thinker.
Wait a minute, I don't get. Well, like I said, we're talking about a hypothetical.
Yeah, it's like I'm talking to a butthead. I remember back in the day calling this dude and he'd be like, yeah, I'm thinking about Africa. Like, what about it? I don't know. Africa. Like, it's a whole continent. What country? What part? I enjoy that you have a platform. I'm just urging you, put a little put more thought into it.
Well, again, because because honestly, I don't really agree with the premise of where you come from. Because all I'm saying is, we're talking about a hypothetical draft. Now, okay, my honest feelings, is it likely we're going to go to a draft? No, of course not. But again, I'm talking about hypothetical. Is there a chance? Yes. It's a low chance. Of course there is. Do we have a
So
bunch of
here's
weapons?
my
Yeah. Do we have
question.
too many people? Again, my point was the draft. But hold on, go ahead. What were you saying? Sorry about that.
My question is,
Mhm.
if you recognize we're shooting the shit, basically is what you're telling me. I'm comfortable with that.
Yeah.
But when I make valid points about hypotheticals, why double down and be loud and wrong? Why not say, hey, I never thought about that? Like, I need you to be progressive in this conversation. Why not say, hey, you're right, I never thought about that. Hey, I can't talk on it any further. Maybe I should put more thought into it. Maybe you have other ideas from other panelists that are talking. Like, I'm a call-in person. If I can come in here and not invoke any thought process, you're just a closed-minded person who wants to say what they want to say, and you're not listening to talk and have a dialogue. You're listening to respond on the thoughts you already thought about like 2 weeks ago, or in the shower or whatever, or in your drive. Like,
No.
hey, I listened to what you said. You couldn't figure out where everybody else was being drafted or mandatory service. I said, hey, let me throw you a bone. Let me add to this.
Well, no, I did bring up other mandatory
boring.
service, but I'm specifically talking about if there is a draft, and the only one I could think of that happened recently was Ukraine. I'm not like, 'cause I was talking about mandatory service, because mandatory service, you got, once you hit a certain age, you got to do that anyways.
Okay, I appreciate that. Now go back to the other stuff that I said. In just one sentence, I will reiterate. If we're shooting the shit, why are you not open to the thoughts and ideas that I have brought to the table for the last 30 minutes?
Because we're living in a hypothetical, we're talking about if things got bad enough. And like when you talk when we talk about the community, and Keith brought it up, I said if there was a draft that got bad enough, which is the hypothetical, we're going to either draft you or put you in prison. Now, I will concede here, I'll give you that yes, I do agree that, and which is something I would say, is that yes, being part of your community and rising up so they can't take you as a whole. I think that would probably be the best way to go. But if I'm looking at it, if things got bad enough, I don't think it would matter at that point.
Like I said before, death is the inevitable.
Yeah.
People have had to die to literally have this country be what it is on our own home soil. We have massive VA graves to prove it. So I'm not going to give a damn, no hypothetical or not, and what's happening in a place that I can do nothing for. Talking about it, or as this lady said, bullshitting about it. I don't even like to talk about it with the people at work, because everybody at work that does the same shit. And yes, they are all weed heads, and they talk about, oh man, this is messed up and this sucks that this is happening. Okay, but what are you doing about it? You can bitch and complain about it, but you're not going over there to set up camps or help anybody to this and that. I mean, hypothetical or 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 not, our shit ain't gonna never get that bad. I said it 2 podcasts ago, and I stand by it now. There's no way America is ever going to get that bad in the 21st century. It's just not gonna happen. I stand on it, and you can't prove me otherwise, because there's nothing that indicates that America. I don't give a fuck about any other country. America has proved otherwise. Prove me otherwise, hypothetical or not. In America, shit has gotten that bad in the last 20 years, 50 years. Like, prove to me, and then we can talk.
Oh no, I can't prove that, and I wouldn't.
So that proves my point. You literally have no reason, like I said in the last 2 podcasts, to be afraid for people dying in a place that doesn't matter to you. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You're just, as this lady said, putting fear for no reason. It's literally, that's a good term. Like, you're putting fear in people for no reason. And you have no proof that America is ever going to get that bad. Me and James can give you multiple reasons on why it's not going to get that bad. This lady, which I didn't pull her name, so I got to keep calling her this lady, can give you a bunch of reasons why it's not going to get that bad. But you can give us no reason on why it's going to get bad in America.
Yeah.
Like why are we having this argument? It's crazy to me.
I would also like to point out, and I'm not being funny, you haven't invested in a passport to see how the rest of the world is living. So it's not that bad here, because even Bob Marley said, if you're not living good, travel wide, right? See what other people are living like. Maybe you appreciate where you come from.
No, well, I mean,
So,
no, I mean, I agree. I agree with that. I don't think it's bad here as other places. Yeah, I don't think I would ever make that claim.
I can appreciate that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I don't know what other topics you guys are talking about, but I need to get some kiwi from the grocery store. This has been fun.
Oh yeah. Thank you for coming on. I definitely appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
So I just want to cut in here. I want to apologize, particularly to Adam, because I decided to go ahead and cut off the second half of this conversation due to time constraints, and I would like to actually go over the other topics that we were discussing in this podcast, but I will be bringing back that second half at a later date. But just know that Adam, at that point, he does join in, so you're going to hear from him for a little bit. And then L also comes back and we continue the conversation. So that's the context. That's why they're here, and that's why you can hear them. But once again, due to time constraints, I just want to move forward to the next topic. But we will be coming back to this conversation, to the second half of this conversation, at a later date. So stay tuned for that. But anyways, let's go ahead and get to the next topic of this chapter.
Who's better? Who's better, Kobe Bryant or Tim Duncan?
Well, I'm biased, so I'm not going to answer that conversation. I'm not going to answer that. I'm biased.
Yeah,
I can't answer it. I'm not an avid sports follower.
I'm only going one direction.
They have the same amount of rings. They got the same amount of rings.
Who's taller?
Like I said, I'm biased. I despise Kobe Bryant. So.
Wow.
Who's taller?
Wow. Nah, I gotta go with Kobe, man.
Who's taller?
No, I despise Kobe. And plus, I'm a big man at heart. I'm sorry.
True.
A job is much harder for a big man than it is a shooting. So.
Okay.
Yeah. I can't really argue the big man because I'm not a big man, so I don't know. Like Keith knows more about how it feels to play as a big man, but me, like I said, I'm gonna go Kobe Bryant.
I feel like Tim Duncan gets overlooked because he doesn't have the showmanship, but he has all the efficiency and the skill of a Kobe Bryant.
I agree.
He doesn't give you the razzle dazzle, but he's got the same amount of rings and he's the same amount of work.
Oh no, I definitely agree with that.
Is Tim Duncan taller?
Yes, Tim Duncan's taller. He's the powerful.
Okay, so Tim Duncan's better.
Yeah, no, I do agree with.
That's what I'm basing it off of.
No, I do agree with the fact of Tim Duncan. He's being overlooked because of the way he plays, and like you said, being the quiet assassin. I truly do believe. I do believe Tim Duncan doesn't get as much credit or as much love as that he deserves. So I agree with that.
Now wait, I'm not saying wait like that, but I do gotta go. You guys, I gotta go help my daughter with her work. She got testing and stuff tomorrow. Keith, she's testing this whole last week and this week.
It's such a nightmare right now. Such a nightmare.
Amazing. I love to hear that.
Talk to you guys later.
All right, man.
Oh,
I
love it. But I just didn't know where she stood. I just didn't want to have that whole disrespected Kobe Bryant because everybody gets butthurt when you start to disrespect Kobe Bryant, and I'm very disrespectful of that guy. So.
Really?
Really?
Really? I don't think I ever heard you get really disrespectful on Kobe, or did we just never have that conversation where it gave you?
Like I said, I've said this for years. Kobe Bryant is just a carbon copy of Michael Jordan. He plays the exact same. I'm not impressed. I've been saying that for years. I'm not impressed by a dude who bases his whole career off of another man. People can say what they want about LBJ all they want, but he is one of one. One of fucking one. Shaq is one of one. AI on of one. I like dudes who were different. Not even
Okay.
about like Kobe Bryant. Like I said, I'm just not impressed. And then, like I say all the time, if Kobe Bryant wasn't a Laker, but he still be Kobe Bryant at the end of the day. I could say that about every guy. I could say that Bron, he would still be Bron.
Yeah.
Shaq, he would still be Shaq.
Yeah.
AI would still be AI.
No.
We don't know that about Kobe.
True. I agree with that.
Just like MJ. We don't know if MJ would have got drafted to the Knicks and
I would argue
he
MJ
could still
because
been him. No,
I
no, 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 no.
I would argue MJ he would still be him. I would argue that.
Like I said, I'm sorry. I can't say that because if he would have got drafted to the Knicks, he would have been a number two for a very long time. Like I said, that was a league where sinners were top shit. And then it still took MJ how long to become relevant? MJ came in the league in what? 94?
No, 84.
Sorry. 84?
Yeah.
Like it took him a long time to become relevant. Just like Kobe Bryant. Took him a long time to become relevant. Shaq, balled out since day one. LBJ, balled out since day one. AI, balled out since day one. And all three of those guys, last time I checked, they all got Rookie of the Year. Did Kobe get Rookie of the Year? No.
I don't know if Jordan got rookie here. Let me look that up.
Okay, now that I don't know.
Yeah, I don't look that up.
I don't think so. I don't think so. So that's why I say I'm not a Kobe Bryant fan because I already.
No, yeah, Jordan got rookie of the year.
Okay, he did.
He averaged,
okay, well.
Yeah, he averaged 28.2 points.
Okay, well, that's one more thing he did better than Kobe. So that's how I feel.
Yeah, but that's why I said, okay, you make a good point. I'll give you that because you're right. Back then it was a center's league, so Jordan would have been number two. So you might have got me there, but I don't know because from my understanding, again, I'm going by history. I was not even alive at this point, but from my understanding, Jordan was a beast, and he was like basically the entire Bulls team when they were trash. So to me, from just listening to historical things, I think Jordan would have always been Jordan no matter where he went. But
Jordan didn't start winning until Scottie Pippen got there. People could say what they want to say about Scottie Pippen, but he didn't start winning until Scottie Pippen got there.
But was he a star before Scottie Pippen? Because Soren Jordan was a big name before they started winning.
Like I said, that 90s year is what put them over the team.
Well,
I'm not saying that he wasn't a star because he was the only person on the team worth talking about.
Yeah.
But he didn't start winning the championship until Scottie Pippen got there.
Of course.
Just like Kobe Bryant. Without Shaq, would he have any rings?
No. I don't think
he does have rings without Shaq.
No, he's talking about after.
Okay, but even when you're putting that argument in, fucking Michael Jordan stayed on a team and developed it until it was a championship team. Same thing with Kobe. All LeBron did was fucking try to put together as many superstars as he could until he fucking won. So how the fuck do you say that dude is better than anybody?
That, like I said, I'm like that to me is not why I feel like LeBron James is better than anybody. I've already had this argument. Michael Jordan is the iconic GOAT. I'm never going to sit here and say he is the most iconic player that has ever played in the NBA. I feel like that's what makes him the GOAT. Like I said, his brand, his fucking likability, even to this day, we've seen Michael Jordan could multiple tap a little white boy's ass and still sell $200 million worth of sneakers every month. So he's an iconic brand. Nothing will destroy that Jumpman brand. Nothing. We have seen this. His gambling addiction, all the shit that his ex-wife talked about, he was abusive, and all of those shit got swept under the rug. It's multiple videos of him being a terrible person, but it's always argued for Jordan is there was no social media, and you can't. And there's a guy online that literally proves my point. There is no bad publicity about Michael Jordan when it comes to games. Every game is just a beast game. We've seen Michael Jordan have bad games. We've seen him make bad choices and bad decisions, but they're not shown. Like we see Kobe Bryant's flaws. We see Michael Jordan, or sorry, LeBron James' flaws. We see a shit about Wilt Chamberlain and his endless women, or we see other players have flaws, but you cannot go online right now and type in bad commentary of Michael Jordan. You just can't. I tried. There's none as more than everybody else. AI, the hocking his wife in a trunk. I mean, I can keep going about player after player after player. Yes, like his, yes, even though Michael Jordan's son is a cokehead fuck up, but nobody investigates that with Michael Jordan as a bad parent.
Hey,
What about another two kids that never get talked about?
Fuck that. I don't give a fuck. All I know is I just saw a documentary on how much juice Michael Jordan has, and I was like, God damn, that shit is gangster as fuck. Because literally, there was
like I said, nobody talked about Michael Jordan owning multiple prisons to keep our people down. Nobody talks about that, but he funds prisons. Like I said, there's a lot of things about Michael Jordan that I don't like, but he is the unanimous GOAT because he is iconic.
No.
Oh no, but it didn't have shit to do with that. No, that motherfucker. There was a dude who got caught selling stolen Jordans, and he was really racking it up, and he had a full ride scholarship, and then the school that he had the full ride scholarship to play football for was like, hey, yeah, we're gonna have to take this back. And they were like, he was like, why? I didn't really do anything wrong. Like, they just said I had a pair of stolen Jordans. They were like, nah, man, Michael Jordan real mad. So that motherfucker called us up. And so, yeah, no, you got no more scholarship, dog.
Michael Jordan's known to be that petty.
Damn, that's some gangster shit.
But at the same time, that won't be headliner news either. That won't be top of the fucking, like, that's a fucked up move on his part. That is messed up. But it ain't worth talking about because it's Michael fucking Jordan. Like I said, he ain't no fucking saint. Kobe Bryant wasn't a fucking saint. As many players as talk about, oh, he was an asshole, he was this, he was that, he was.
Just go listen to Smush Parker. Just go listen to Smush Parker.
So many players talk about, and not these goddamn fucking players that kissed his ass, but the players that, played against him and played on his teammates that really don't get recognition. The Smush Parkers,
Jeremy Lin.
Jeremy Lin's, like, dude was a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
It's like Tim, yes, I do agree with her 100%. Tim Duncan was a great fucking player. And that first year when David Robinson was on the team, it was the only time when he wasn't the number one option. The only fucking time. That alone should tell you everything you need to know about Tim Duncan.
So I just want to quickly chime in at the end of this chapter. First, I want to say thank y'all for checking this one out. But I also want to say that I did edit this episode differently. So if you do listen to this, in the comments down below, let me know what you think. There may be some issues. I'm trying something different. Trying to see if this new change is good for speeding things up. I'm not sure how this is going to go. If it goes well, I may edit like this more. If not, I'm probably going to go back to the old way. So, again, I guess you could say this is a little bit of a testing ground for this one. And also, I want to apologize for being away. A lot of things happened. Once again, I got kind of ill. But, yes, we are back, and we shouldn't. Hopefully, we don't have another stoppage. We may actually in the future, I'm not going to lie, because I may have to go away for work, so I'm just warning you right now because it looks like I may be getting another gig. I don't know yet. It's a possibility, but if it does, I may be leaving. But with that being said, like I said before, I want to end this first chapter here. So make sure to come back and we're going to continue this conversation in the second chapter. Oh yeah, one more thing. We also may miss one more additional week of the podcast upcoming soon because it was delayed, but I may be going through another computer upgrade, and depending on how long that takes, it may stop me from recording an episode for a little while. So I got to see what's going to happen. If it does happen, then that's the reason why. Again, like I said, apologies for this one. I was under the weather, but we should be back. And beyond that, once again, make sure to come back next week for the second chapter.